Hello students, I am Cynthia from GEMS Polytechnic College. So we are going to enter into lecture 7. Okay, so in the first unit we have seen overview of estimating and costing, right? So in that we have seen what is estimating and costing, then what are the purpose of it, then what are the types, okay, like approximate and detailed. We have two types, right? Then what are the uses of approximate estimates, then what are the methods of the approximate estimates. So these are the things we have, and the problems based on the plinth area. Then what is detailed estimate? Detailed estimate, basic things about, okay, basic about the detailed estimate, and what are the types of detailed estimate. Okay, so these are the things we have learned in the first unit. Okay, so today we are going to study about detailed estimate. Okay, the unit 1 we have already completed, so we are entering into unit 2. Okay, unit 2 is called detailed estimate. Okay, so content of the lecture. Okay, so what are the contents here? So we are going to study about what is detailed estimate, then what are the methods of detailed estimate, then what are the data required for detailed estimate, then factors to be considered, okay, during the preparation of detailed estimate, then steps in preparing detailed estimate. Okay, we are going to just learn about how to do a detailed estimate, okay, with the brief explanation, okay, brief content, the procedures, or what are the things needed for the doing the detailed estimate, what are the steps in preparing the detailed estimate. Okay, how many steps are there to prepare a detailed estimate. Okay, what are the factors that is affecting the in preparing the detailed estimate. Okay, so these are the things we are going to learn in this lecture. Okay, so the next one is detailed. We have seen, right, we have in the line, the last two lines we have seen perform of measurement sheet, abstract sheet. Okay, so for understanding this lecture 7, you need to have a knowledge about measurement sheet and abstract sheet. Okay, so measurement sheet means it is nothing but for calculating the quantity of various item of the structure, the measurement sheet is used. Okay, for calculating the quantity of various items of structure. Okay, so imagine a table. In the measurement sheet table you will have description. Okay, then how many numbers we are going to use, then the length and the breadth and the height of the material, okay, or work, then how much quantity. Okay, so these are the things will be present in the measurement sheet. Okay, so in the measurement sheet we will have length, breadth and height, then quantity. Okay, that are the things we are going to which will be available in the measurement sheet. Okay, measurement sheet means it is nothing but calculating the quantity of various items of the structure. Okay, then the second word, abstract sheet. Okay, abstract sheet means what? The cost under item of work calculated from the quantities already computed at workable rate, and the total cost is worked out in a prescribed form. Okay, is known as abstract sheet. Abstract sheet means it is nothing but we already have found out the quantities, right? So in the abstract sheet there will be quantity, then unit, then what are the rate, then what are the cost per unit, then the amount. Okay, the total amount we can see in the abstract sheet. Okay, total amount of a project you can see through the, you can get through the abstract sheet. Okay, we can enter in the abstract sheet. Okay, that is the meaning of a measurement sheet and abstract sheet. Through this only we can prepare a detailed estimate. Okay, so the next slide is about the methods of detailed estimate. Okay, so what are the methods we have for doing a detailed estimate? So we have two types of method. Okay, unit quantity method and total quantity method. Okay, so unit quantity method. Okay, the first one is unit quantity method. Okay, so unit quantity method means what? So you can see, okay, unit quantity method means like if you are constructing a new building. Okay, if you are constructing a new building means if if imagine you're going for a site to look the area, okay, look at the area or location the which we are going to build, okay, that area, okay. So if you are going for a site of your building, we will just ask, right, we will ask the nearby neighbors, right. So how will be the soil conditions here, then at which distance the water level will be. So these are things we will simply ask, right. So that is the unit quantity method, okay. So unit quantity method means this estimate can be prepared quickly and easily, but it requires record of unit quantity rates for similar structures in same locality with the same specifications. So you can get the unit quantity rates through the similar structures, okay, in your same locality, okay. Then various departments can maintain unit cost of those works, okay. So other than unit quantity rates, first one is we have to take the unit quantity rates, okay. So for per unit means what? Unit means it's like dividing the structure, okay. So for one unit means it's like if you're considering a building means beam, column, okay. So for each and everything we have that's a unit, okay. If you're taking a building means beam is a one unit, then column is another unit, okay. So that is okay. That quantity rates we can get through the similar buildings, okay. Other things, what are the things we have to consider means price level variations. Then okay, price level variations means what? If in the similar building, if it is constructed before some years means if they are at 2015 they have constructed a building means, okay, their building is constructed in 2015 means the rate, right, the materials used will the price of the material will vary, right. So we have to verify that and also, okay, we have to consider price level variations, okay, whether the material rates or labor cost or anything, okay, that is same or not, we have to check, okay. Then specifications required, okay. Specification means it is a detailed description about a materials or anything, okay. So we have to check that. Then we have to third one is we have to consider the location of the site. Then the fourth one is number of units in a structure. I have told, right, units means it's a beam, column, so dividing every structures, okay, that is the unit. Then foundation and soil conditions, okay. So whether the soil condition is good or not, okay, that one we have to check, okay. So this method is used for preparing preliminary estimates, okay. So unit quantity method means it is nothing but we are going to get the unit quantity rates from the similar structures, okay. So in this work, the work is divided as many operations, okay, so many items, okay. The work is divided into so many items, okay. So first we have to decide the unit of measurements. We have to decide the total quantity of work under each item is taken out in a proper unit of measurement. Unit of measurement means it's like inch, or if you have a length means meter is a unit of measurement, right. Time means seconds, okay, that thing, okay. So the total cost per unit quantity of each items we have to analyze, and then we have to work out, we can find out the all the things, okay. Through this unit quantity method we can find the cost of the structures, okay. So unit quantity method means it is like as through the record of something, okay, from the similar structures we can get the details about how much quantity, okay. So how much quantity of materials is needed, or cost, everything, okay, we can learn through this unit quantity method, okay. So the next one. So the next one is total quantity method, okay. So total quantity method means what? This can be done with a detailed drawing, okay. So in this method, with the help of a detailed drawing, total quantity of various items is calculated, okay. Items can be obtained by dividing the whole structure into different components, okay. So in this also, we can get the details through a drawing, okay. Whether it may be a plan, okay, plan or section or elevation somewhat, okay. So that through the plan, okay, through the drawing of the building, we have to get the details. Okay, so with the help of a detailed drawing, total quantity of various items is calculated. So first we have to divide the whole structure into different components. Okay, so now this total quantity of each items is multiplied with the unit rate of respective item, which can be obtained either from the schedule of rates or from the rate analysis of an item. So the total cost of the item, okay, we can found by multiplying the cost per unit quantity by number of units. Okay, if you are considering 1 square feet means, okay, so if we found the value of 1 square feet means by multiplying the total cost of the cost per unit quantity, okay, by multiplying the total number of units. Okay, so we have to find, if we have found the value of 1 square feet means we can multiply, and we can get the we can multiply with multiplying with the number of units, we can get the total cost of the items. Okay, so this is the total quantity method. So data required for detailed estimate. Okay, so the first thing is we need drawing, then specification, then rate, then mode of measurement. Okay, so drawing means what? So drawing means we can get drawing in the sense plan, elevation and section with the all dimensions is essential. Okay, so what are the things we need? Drawing. First one is drawing. Drawing means the plan, elevation and section. Okay, specification means what? Specification gives description of material to be used. Okay, so mode of execution, quality of work. So the rate of item depends on the specifications. Okay, so if you are taking some like specifications means if it is a framed structure means what type of depends upon the structure, what type of steel we have to use. Then what are the standard cement we are going to use. Okay, that are the things is called as specification. Okay, that details is needed. Then rates. Rates means what? The market rates for various items. Wages of different categories of labor, cost of different material should be available. So rates means it is nothing but how much wages we have to give for the labor. Then the cost of material. Rate means that's the thing. Okay, different material cost. Then wages for the labor. Okay, so this is means rate. Okay, for this for the estimation purpose, the government PWD publishes a booklet called Schedule of Rates. Okay, so through this only you have to get the rates. Okay, so they are producing one book called Schedule of Rates, right? So through this only we can get the wages of different categories of labor or cost of different materials. Okay, so the rates may be obtained from this booklet or from some rates. Some items rate may be worked out by rate analysis. So same thing. Okay, so using the schedule of rates, okay, using the current rate, we have to find the rate of the labor, cost of different materials. Okay, that should be available for doing a detailed estimate. Okay, then the fourth one is what? Mode of measurement. Okay, so mode of measurement means what? That is the unit. Okay, in which unit we are going to measure. Okay, so the units which are commonly used are what? Length means we will take meter. Okay, meter is a unit. For area means square meter is a unit. For volume, cubic meter is a unit. For capacity, liter is a unit. Mass, kg is a unit. Okay, so this is the thing. This is a mode of measurement. In which mode we are going to do the detailed estimation. Okay, so these are some points given. Okay, so we should have knowledge about this points just. Okay, so for voluminous works, the length, breadth and height are measured and the volume is calculated. So for these things the unit of measurement is cubic meter. For thin works, okay, length and breadth are measured and the area is calculated, so the unit is square meter. If we have a long and thin works means the length is measured and the unit of measurement is running meter. Okay, so unit, that is the mode of measurement. Okay, so the next slide is factors to be considered during the preparation of detailed estimate. Okay, so what are the factors we have to consider? First one is nature of work, then quantity and availability of material, then transportation of material, then location of site and local labor charges. Okay, so we are going to see briefly. So first one is what? Nature of work, right? So nature of work means what? When a construction work is divided in different items of work. So nature of work means what are the works we have, we'll usually do for doing a construction, earth work, concrete, then brick work. Okay, so many works we have, right? So the quantity of items is calculated carefully. Okay, so nature of work means it is these are the factors we have to consider. So work means what are the works we have? Simply many works for we have for doing a construction, right? So earth work, concrete work, brick work. Okay, these are the things. So if the nature of the work is large means we have to consider the transportation charges, availability of material and labor, everything we have to keep in the mind. Okay, so if it is the nature of the work is small means the use of the local materials and labor available should be done. Okay, so it's nature of work means for preparing a detailed estimate we have to consider this. Okay, this factor, nature of work, we have to consider. Okay, so second thing is, so second one is what? Second is quantity and availability of material. Okay, so if the quantity of material requires large amount means like it's a simple thing. Okay, so if we want a large amount of material means we can bulk purchase, right? So that we can get the we can if imagine, okay, if you are going for a shopping, okay, if you are going for buying some groceries or anything, whatever. Okay, so for that if we buy bulk amount of groceries means they will give in a cheap rate, right? So that is the thing. Okay, so quantity and availability of material. Okay, so if we need much quantities means we can easily we can get the total amount of quantity whatever we need, we can get through the bulk purchasing. So okay, so that will be a profit for you. Okay, that is the thing we have to consider. Okay, then the third one is transportation of material. Okay, so if material required for project is not available locally, then the transportation charges, this is some key point. Okay, so transportation of material means while preparing a detailed estimate you have to if the material is not in our area, okay, that construction area means we have to include the transportation charges to the preparation of detailed estimate. That cost also we have to include in preparing a detailed estimate. Okay, that's the thing. So next one is what? Location of site. Okay, so if site is in the remote area or away from the city, then transportation charges should be included while costing. If site is not approachable, then cutting of jungles. So simple thing. Okay, location of site means location of site is most important, right? When we are constructing in the constructing area, so whether we can get the materials or not, whether the site is good or not. Okay, many things we have to what to say, if we are constructing a school means whether we have some children's or nearby apartments or houses are there or not, we have to check. After that only we can build a school there, right? So that is the thing. Okay, so location of site means that is the most important thing we have to consider. So if a site is not approachable means we have to many things we have to do, right? We have to cut the jungles, then construction of pilot roads, arrangement of electricity, then transfer of machinery. So many things we need, right? That requires a large cost. So that thing we have to consider while preparing a detailed estimate. Okay, Okay, then local labor charges. Okay, so for preparing a detailed estimate, the local labor charges should be known to an estimator. These charges should be revised from time to time depending on locality before preparing a detailed estimate. Okay, so local labor charges, it will vary, right? Today it will be some amount, means after some months it will vary, right? So that thing we have to consider. Okay. So steps in preparing detailed estimate. So what are the steps? First step, divide the whole project or work in various items. First we have to divide the project. Then what are the second step? Divide the various items. First we have divided. After that we have to divide the various items and group them under different subheads. Okay, so first we have to mainly divide, after that subdivide. Okay, in that divided, already divided, right? After that we have to again divide and group them under different subheads. That is the second step. Then the step 3, what, enter the detail of measurement of each item of work in measurement sheet, measurement form, and calculate the total quantity of each. Third one is we have to enter the details of measurement, okay, in the measurement sheet, so that we can find the quantity of the total quantity of each items. Okay, third one is we have to enter into the measurement sheet. So what is the fourth one? Step 4 is what? After the quantities are taken out of squaring the dimensions is done. It means squaring the dimensions means what? It means the calculation of number, length and area and volume, okay, or enter into the two columns of a measurement sheet. These are the various methods of squaring. Okay, next one is we have to do the squaring. Squaring means it is nothing but the calculation of length, area, volume, number. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, here we have three types of doing a squaring. Okay, first one is what? Decimal system. Second is duodecimal system. Third one is fractional part. Okay, decimal system means what? It is a natural number 0 to 9, like natural thing, natural numbers. Okay, natural numbers are used for decimal system. Duodecimals means what? For example, 100 means we will take us 1 gross. Then 1000 means we will take us 1 grade gross. Okay, so like that we will do the calculation. That is the decimal system. Fractional part means what? Non-negative real number, right? So 5 by 6, like that. So but in our nowadays we are using the decimal system only. Okay, so all these squared dimensions must be checked by different persons by tick mark. So we have to, after that, after the checking, different persons will check this. Okay, so after that tick mark will be given. Okay, because we can easily find out whether it is checked or not. Okay, so that is the fourth step. Then fifth one. Okay, so what is the fifth one? This is the last step in preparing detailed estimate. The cost under item of work is calculated from the quantities computed at workable rates. Okay, so this one is, so in this last step, what we have to do is, through the previous steps we have found the cost, right? So the cost under of item of work is we have calculated, okay, from the quantities. So in this we have to, this cost along with the rates we have to enter in the abstract form. Okay, so here two things we have to consider in abstracting. 3 to 5% of the amount of total cost is added to the contingencies. Contingencies means what? It is such as petty expenditure, unforeseen, it is extra charges, okay, for maintenance purpose, like that. Okay, then second one is a percentage of 1.5 to 2% of the total cost is added for the expenditure of work charge establishment. For establishing, for how we need some time, we need some cost we have spent for that, right? So that is that also, that these two amount also we have to enter into that detailed estimate preparation. Okay, that abstract sheet we have to enter this amount also. Okay, this is the fifth one. So these are the 5 steps in preparing a detailed estimate. Okay. So this is for today. So these are the books we have to refer. Okay. So in this slide, we have just seen what is detailed estimate, then what are the methods, then steps. Okay, these are the basic things we have learned about detailed estimate. Okay, so in the next lecture 8, we are going to just see what are the main items needed for a detailed estimate. Okay, thank you.